Well, hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. Well, hello everyone, and I'm back again with another space anomaly video. This one goes back a few years, and we all know that the Chinese have landed, I think, 2 or 3 robots on the moon, and the most famous one was Chang 3. And in this one, I downloaded the picture from the magazine or a newspaper. I can't remember which, but it was straight from there. And me being me, I'm going to explore even the tiniest little thing I can see. And I zoomed in as far as I could. I mean, I zoomed all the way to the horizon as far as I could. And one of the things that I noticed was that, because this is not a BMP or it's not a JPEG, it's worse than that. It's not a PNG, it's not a TIFF. You know, this is just what it was. And I noticed when I zoomed all the way in, I noticed that the pixels on the planet or on the moon were, I zoomed it into all the way to the pixels, and the pixels were one size, and the black background, which was supposed to be space, the pixels were another size. So that got me to wondering, why is that? All the pixels should be the same, no matter what. If everything in there is by the same camera, they should all be the same. And what that told me was that when they got back the original photograph, someone in the Chinese party, probably the Chinese army, somebody in the Chinese army, overlaid a black background in the back. And I'm going to show this to you. And when they did that, it created a different pixel. And so they weren't thinking, I guess, that they're going to have to reduce these pixel sizes in order to match what's there on the ground. And they did not go all the way to the horizon, actual touching the horizon of the moon. And it left a gap. So, me being me, this is a mystery. And I want to know why they did that. It made no sense to me for someone to do that. So I changed the color, and I mean, I didn't do anything physical with the photos except change the color. And now, I did this years ago, and I put it out on my Facebook, and got quite a bit of responses from it. At that time, I put out 2 photos, one in extreme blue spectrum and one in the extreme red. And in both cases, you can see something. But I came back to this one again just because I wanted to see if I can go in further and try to pick out what it was they were hiding. Because basically what it is, it's an overlay. It's a black overlay they put over it, and that way, you know, they're thinking they've got all the way down to the moon. They didn't do it. And there are things there at that horizon that makes you go, So we're going to get right into it, and thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And guys, I'm at 91 subscribers. You know, I'm going to throw myself a big party if I can just get 100. So yeah, I know this is a lot of things about controversial subjects, and I'm going to do a whole video on why I do this, but the reason, there is a reason, and it coincides with the biblical narrative. That's why I do this. Not because of ancient aliens, but because there is the biblical narrative works in this. So, thank you very much, and enjoy the video. Well, all right. This is the way the original photo of the Chang 3 color panorama. The mosaic created, or the panorama, was by the Chinese news agency Ken Kramer and Marco De Lorenzo. This, you can see this is let you know that this comes from the People's Army of China. That they're actually in charge of all this. And this is the photo that was in online in Newsweek online. And so you click on it, of course it gives you an enlarged view, and at that point I took a screenshot, and this is the screenshot right here. And as I explained earlier, this is the rover. This is the lander right here. You see that the rover came around, did a circle, and came back over here, and is now facing back that way, out this way. He's looking at something out here. And me being me, you know, I'm just gonna, you know, zoom in. You know, you can see they actually use real gold in these things for a lot of reasons. And so, you know, I zoom in, and, you know, and I'm just taking in what we got, looking at the landscape, stuff like that. And you can already tell that this is not a great picture because it's already starting to pixel out. And so, you know, I just went over here and took a look at this little crater right here. Look at all this stuff that's down here. And things like that, you know, just rocks thrown around, stuff like that. And let me back out of it here just a second. So you see, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 indications that light is being reflected from. But there else is nothing else. The light should not be doing this. There should be just pitch black all the way across. And so that got my attention. So I zoomed in as close as I could, and I noticed that right here underneath, just at the horizon, is black, and then there was little things just right at the horizon here that all this back here was covering up. And that's when I noticed the pixelation difference. The pixels in this photo are different from these right here. These pixels are much bigger than these are right here. So that tells me then that we have an issue. All this should be pure black. There should be no, lights streaming up like this. It just should all be pure black. And me being me, I want to take a really good look at what could be back here. So you begin to start seeing little things, and like right here, you'll see a white area right here. You come across here, and you see a slightly darker area right here. And the same here. You see that there's just something there that you're not seeing. So they covered this up with an overlay, but they couldn't cover up everything, like right here. Look at that. You can actually see something down here. And if they were trying to cover up hills and things like that, I don't understand why they would do that. That makes no sense at all. So what I did was I took this and I changed the coloring to blue to see if I can find if there's anything there. Now, right, this is on slate. Okay, here's how it looks after I blued it out. And this is full all the way here. But then you begin to see things here. So I kind of went through the colors after I blued it, and you began to see stuff right here, all back in through here. It's everywhere, all back in through here. And you can see this is the way it should look in the sky, is right there, what it looks like right there, black, but it's not. And this tells me, because when I blued it and all this turned blue, that tells me that was an overlay. And I just went through the colors. To try to see if I can find something. Now, look at this. Now you see something is already starting to show. Just changing the filtering, it's going to show you what's behind there. You see all this right here. See, it looks like two things sticking up right here. Just by changing the filter colors. Some of them aren't going to work because they're going to darken everything. So we've got to where, so you can see that, and that's the better view right there. You can see that there is actually something back there. They're not hills. Why would you want to hide hills? You know, we all know there's hills on the moon. So what the Chinese People's Republic, Chinese Army, whatever you call it, they decided they were going to do like NASA does and hide whatever they find. And here's the reason why. In 1957, 58, we were getting ready to launch satellites into space. We were on the way to launching people into space. And I think it was in 1959 that Yuri Gagarin became the first man in space. You know, a Russian cosmonaut. And from going from space, they knew that we would be going to the moon, to Mars, and to all the other areas that, you know, we're going to find stuff. We're going to be sending robot probes. We're going to be sending humans. So the question that was asked, and to me it was kind of a dumb question, what would happen if we discover an ancient civilization that's no longer there, or evidence of that they had been there, technology of the same thing, and what would happen if we find an actual viable living civilization on the moon, on Mars, etc. Well, they called in all the best minds, and this is in the United States. They called in all the best minds in geopolitics, in social economics, business, psychology, sociology, and of course military and everything like that. And they got together and they talked about it. And they said, well, you know, what do we say? What do we do? You know, if we find something like this. And they decided that for the American people and the world as a whole couldn't handle a revelation of something of that magnitude. That they couldn't handle that revelation. That it would cause breakdown in society. That, you know, everything would just fall apart. That there would be religious wars because of it. That there would be people's traditions that they've held all these years in whatever country they're from had no meaning at that point. And there would be upheaval, there would be riots, there would be economic collapse all over the world. So that's what they thought. So they came up with the recommendation, if we do find something, we're going to keep it quiet. We're going to cover it up. And this is what they've done. They've done this throughout the whole manned space flight and unmanned space flight. When they go somewhere, they have people going over the photographs and over the video very slowly, very carefully to try to push out, hide out anything that can cause this panic and the world collapse into whatever. So that's why. And the Chinese are doing the same thing. And I'm sure the Indians are, I'm sure the Japanese are. I'm sure the Europe is. So I don't believe in ancient aliens myself, and I don't push that agenda. I'm going to do a video on this, why I believe what I believe, and how it pertains to the Bible, and what we are finding on the moon, on Mars, on the other moons of different planets in the solar system, and on the other planets. There is a reason why we're finding them. And so what I did was, I went ahead and took a screenshot of this. I zoomed it in as far as I could, and I took a screenshot. And this is what I found. This is just your normal, this is the same screenshot right here. I just took a screenshot and zoomed in on it, and to look and see what I can see back there. You can already start seeing things right here, right here. These two things that were sticking up right there, all down here, over here, all across here, all down through here. You can see all kinds of stuff back there. You know, and it goes all the way over here. And you can see where the pixeling of the overlay that they did. It's all right. You can see it. And you can see where they didn't get down to the planet itself. And in one case, they had to come down over to the horizon because of what was right in front of them. And I'm gonna zoom it in, especially right on this one right here. Can you see that? I'm zoomed in as far as I can go. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Sahara. And you see now, you've got all kinds of things here. It goes all the way across. And they even look like they double pixeled over this one here. All the way across. What are we looking at? Well, it's kind of hard to tell, just simply because of the overlay. But we are getting a picture of it. And this is the big one right here. I'm going to hit, now, so you can see as I change the coloring, it's still there. I don't know what this is. It looks like some kind of colony. There's no air on the moon, or the oxygen is not there. So you would need to build self-contained living spaces. And that's what this looks like. This looks like a colony had built itself something here. How long has it been there? I don't know. You know, it could be there since people started leaving the earth to go to get away from judgment when God destroyed the earth in the flood. It could be that old. It could be a lot newer. I don't know. But here it is, guys. Here it is. This is what they were hiding. They did not want you to see it. For whatever reason they think is the right reason. There it is. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.